So they say that we're in another heat wave again today, but I don't think it's near as bad as it was a week ago. Well, I don't even know if it was a week ago. I mean, it was terrible, just constantly sweating. I mean, it was just constant. So my guess is the humidity was a lot higher than it is now, but again, that's just a guess, I don't know. But it's comfortable. This morning I got up again, the windows were open, and it was pretty cool in the house, so I had to put a sweatshirt on. I left it on until probably 9 o'clock. So, but again, I'm a little bit more warm nature than most, I think. I think when it gets a little chilly for me, I gotta wrap up. So, tell you, so when I get up in the morning, first thing I do, well, of course I go to the restroom, but after that, first thing I do is put my shoes on and I come outside and I run down and open the doors for the chickens to get out. So when it's day enough for them to come out, they come out. This morning, the little chickens, all of them, the adolescents and the baby chickens, they were all ready to come out. I find that interesting because the adult chickens stay in their coop much longer than the baby ones. But when I came out this morning, I've set out a live trap here because Carolyn saw a raccoon a while back. And I thought, well, we better try to get it. But I haven't caught any raccoons. No, I guess it was a possum she saw. I thought it was a raccoon, but never mind, it's a possum she saw on the porch, and she said it just strolled right off, wasn't scared of her or anything. So I put it out for the possum. Well, the very next day I got up, and there was a rat in there. It was the first time I've ever seen a rat. I've never seen a rat here. Well, I figured if there's one rat, there's going to be many rats. So I Googled it, and it's possible to only have one rat. I always thought there was going to be a bunch of them, but we haven't caught another rat since. But part of me thinks that's because a new cat has just showed up. And so this morning when I got up, there was a cat in the trap. Now I let the cat go. I relocated the rat. I took it way out there in the conservation area. I wasn't going to have anything to do with that. The cat I want to keep around because maybe the cat will keep the rats away. I don't know, that one kind of bothered me. But again, there hasn't been any other signs of rats. There's no rat droppings, nothing under the house, not hearing anything. So it was just a fluke. Kind of odd, I thought. I really thought there would be more than one. So this trap has been pretty nice. Now, as you know, I don't sell things on YouTube, but YouTube has given me the ability to offer you some things that I have. So as I talk about these things, I can put them in a product list. Now the product list is right here on the screen on one side or the other, I'm not sure which. So you got to touch the screen and that product list will pop up. You hit that product list button right on, it might be on my face, who knows, it'll be right here on the screen, and that product list will drop down, and the things that I've placed in there, like this live trap, I'll put in there. And if you want a live trap, there's one in there. I don't know which one, but they're not that expensive if you're looking for a live trap. It sure does make things handy being out here on the off-grid, because we get these wildlife at night and they always harass the chickens. Just so easy to set up. I mean, you got to put it together. That was the hardest part because the instructions were in Chinese, translated to English, so it didn't make any sense. You can see in here probably that we got a little pork bone in it. So I mean, you use almost anything for bait and they'll come and get it. But I was kind of glad to catch that rat and get rid of it. Boy, I didn't want anything to do with it. So Carolyn's been kind of busy doing things. She's been taking the water out of her wash bins. This is her washer for the clothes. She had that on the porch, but she decided to relocate it down here. It looks kind of nice, actually. Might be getting crowded down here, but it's better than having the porch crowded. Normally she dumps the water and it drains down into the field. But she's been dumping the gray water into these buckets, and she's been carrying it down to the garden. And I feel terrible that she's doing it, but she keeps saying, no, it's exercise, it's exercise. And you can't argue with that. It is exercise. And she fills them about half full. Now this one is her wash bucket. She uses that for laundry, just to have additional water. Now you've seen her spinner. And so this spins the laundry at a high rate of speed to get the water out. It's hard for me to do one-handed, but I'll give it a try. And so there's two ropes. There's one here also. And again, I'll put that on the product list so you can look at that also. That's really done Carolyn a lot of good. It's a lot better than having to wring the clothes out by hand and then put them in the rinse water. That's the thing she uses it the most for, is after she's done washing the clothes, she wants to get them good and wrung out, because then she puts it in the rinse water, and she doesn't want to just dirty up the rinse water. It's good exercise. Once again, everything's good exercise. I like that machine. I bought her two. This one is used so much that the bearings wear out. Now I've got other bearings that I can easily replace. They're not hard to do. And all you got to do is look at the number on the bearing, and then you can order that off Amazon. Easy to replace. There's just one screw right here in the center you take out. It's actually an Allen screw, and then 4 other screws. It all comes apart real easy, and then you can just replace the bearings. There's 2 different size bearings. So I have another one as a backup, because the first time it broke, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to fix it. Didn't know how to fix it, couldn't find the numbers. Well, finally, after cleaning the bearing up really good and finding out that there was a number on it, and I go to Amazon. So I already ordered one, but that's okay. Now she's got a backup. So we got our watermelon here. We'll eat that soon, I would imagine. Now here we have eggshells. Carolyn's been crunching up eggshells for the chickens. That gives them calcium. Now you want to feed these kind of eggshells towards the evening, because they digest these quite quickly. Versus oyster shells. Oyster shells stay in their system all day. So if you give this in the morning, the eggshells, they'll digest that before they lay an egg. You know, they produce eggs while they're asleep. So you want to make sure they have calcium in their systems while they're sleeping. Now the way she dries out these eggs, she washes them and then dries them out in her solar dehydrator. And she's used this for several things. Banana peels, but primarily eggshells. And she does this every day. She goes and crushes up eggs. So again, I'll put that in the list there also. So that way you can, if you want to buy it, this thing works out really nice. Again, I don't make any money off this hardly. I'll make 10 cents if you click on it and check it out. But that's, you know, it's not a lot of money. But what I find so nice about it is you have the products, you can see the products that I have around here. Now the other thing that she bought this year was that greenhouse. And that really helped her out. She really wanted this greenhouse. I didn't understand the logic behind it, but she made it work, and she grew a lot of seedlings in there during the springtime. And again, I'll put that on the list as well. I don't know if there'll be an exact match on that one. I don't think the dehydrator is an exact match either, but it'll give you an idea of what we have. She's got some peppers. I told you that her peppers died because of all the rain, so she grew some more just recently. The other thing we have on our porch is our little chicken cages that we use to raise our little baby chickens inside the house. We've left these on the porch because we're going to incubate some more chickens pretty soon. And I'll also put the incubator that we use. I love that incubator. It's the best one I've ever seen. So I'll put that on the list also. But we put these in up here on the porch. Now we have a female chicken right now that is acting broody. But she's been acting broody for a very long time. And when I say acting broody, she'll lay in one spot for hours, all day long, and she doesn't lay eggs. And then by evening time, she's up and running around with the rest of the chickens. Now, a broody chicken would just stay there all the time, but she's not. So I don't think she understands what it is she's going through right now. The Buff Orpingtons go broody. They know what to do. They may mess up the first time they go broody and they'll get off the eggs, but they'll lay there for several days before they get off. And then the second time they go broody, they've got it all figured out. They'll stay there the entire 3 weeks. But she is an Americana. And I don't think Americanas are very good broody chickens. They just go broody and they don't understand why. Pretty useless right now. She's not laying eggs. One of the indicators is she doesn't have any missing feathers on her back. When the roosters get on top of them, they tend to pull out feathers. And it looks terrible, but when you really look at them, they're not injured. They're just missing feathers. So it looks bad, but that's all it is. But she's not missing any feathers. So she's been there for several weeks now. So what we're going to do is bring her up and put her in these cages. Now Carolyn made these cages. So we'll put her in a cage, and if she doesn't lay an egg, I think we're going to have to butcher her when we butcher the others that we just incubated. I know it upsets people when I tell you we butcher, but I don't know what else to tell you. When I said we were going to butcher Frenchie and Roo, I had so many people get upset. We said, well, okay, we're going to get rid of those two. We'll just sell them or something. But I haven't named this chicken or anything. Don't even know her that well. So we're going to put, if she doesn't start producing eggs, we're going to put her in there and get her butchered. And then the one that we incubated we'll pull out of the butchering cycle, because they're supposed to be butchered, and let her start laying eggs next year. Not only that, we'll have a rotation of chickens. We got all these chickens at one time last year, and it's quite likely that they'll die at the same time and stop producing eggs at the same time. So we want to start getting a rotation of chickens each year. We have these tent canopies, and the reason we use the tent canopy was I had a family member who came up here and they gave us a tent canopy to put on the porch because we didn't have a roof. We just built the porch and we hadn't had a roof yet. So it was wintertime, he come up, and then by the springtime, I built the roof on the porch. Well, we didn't need that anymore. Well, that gave us a great opportunity to have a chicken run. But it was a lot cheaper than anything else we could find or build or do because the lumber prices are just so terribly high. And the white is good because it reflects the sun and doesn't get as hot underneath. If we use black or a darker color tarp, then the chickens would get hot from the sun. So the white keeps them cool. So again, if you'll check out that product list, there's I'll even put these canopies on it. That'll show you things that we have and things I had in this video. And YouTube sells that. That's all YouTube's money there. But if you don't want to click on it, maybe you'll click onto the super thanks button down there. I'd appreciate it. So I hope I can inspire you to find the things that are easy to do so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.